So welcome back. Today I wanted to show you how to make pastrama. Now a week ago we shot a Sika, a little Sika yearling, and I just wanted to show you a cool little way to utilize the meat and turn it into pastrama. It's awesome for when you're on the hill. It's lightweight, full of flavor, and of course it's got lots of protein and iron. So before I start with that, I want to take you back to the hunt. You can enjoy the hunt, and if you want to carry on watching how to make it into pastrama, then you can stick around to the end.
I've snuck out after work for an evening hunt, and we are in Sika country. I'm going to try and get a Sika. It's just gone the end of winter, so hopefully things are starting to move around a little bit more, and we'll have a bit more luck than what we did last time. But yeah, as you can see, I'm donning the old spectacles. Sign of sign of the age, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, I'm going to take you up through this area here, a bit of bush stalking, and then we'll probably look out over a couple of clearings. It's another solo mission. Eden is close to being able to spend a bit more time in the bush. His little baby's 6 months old, so yeah, we're looking forward to doing a trip with him in the very near future. Fingers crossed we'll get a bit of venison, and I'll show you how to make this pastrama. Anyway, I'm going to go into stealth mode now. Not too shabby. Over into another catchment now, and I'll hunt another little terrace that I know of, and then it might be time to start heading back. Guess what I didn't want. Did not want to spook a deer in here. Me. Yeah, boy. You see it kicking there? Toby, good boy. Come here. You bloody ripper. That was bloody good fun. It's tumbling down the hill here. It looks like just a young one. Oh, that's awesome. That's a good little stalk. Didn't quite know what I was, eh? Sorry, you wouldn't have seen that on the GoPro. All I could see in the trees was it's just, oh, look at this tiny little thing. That's all good. That's awesome. I was just standing there. All I could see was basically that and his legs. Teeny tiny one, eh? Oh, the smell of gun smoke. You bloody ripper. Wrapped. Absolutely wrapped. Yeah. Hands and knees there for a while. Hey Toby, bit of fun. Oh, a heap of stinging nettle just here. I'll bring it over here. Good boy Toby. He did pretty good really. Whimpered a bit, but he kept pretty quiet on a hole. Look at that. It's a young one, eh? That'll do. Good boy. Good boy. I want to teach you to bark. Can you speak? I want you to speak when you find a deer. Speak, 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 speak. Oh, good shit. I'm wrapped. Very grateful. Awesome little hunt that. It didn't know what I was because it couldn't smell me, but might have heard me in the creek. Might have heard me in the creek when I really tripped up. Might have been what put its attention up. Good boy, Toby. Hey, good boy, good boy, good boy. Well, there you go. That'll be a nice little deer to make into pastrama. So we'll get back home now and I'll show you the recipe for making pastrama, which is awesome to take on hunts. Goes really nice on crackers with a bit of cheese when you're up in the hills. So yeah, we'll see you back at the kitchen. So I've got some finished product here. There are 6 steps to do. So the first step is to salt the meat and leave it for about 3 days. So the second step is to wash the meat and wash out all that salt. Then third step is dry the meat. From there we mix the spice and apply. So the fifth step is to dry the meat for about another week depending on your thickness. And sixth step is to eat, and then we vacuum pack what is left over. So if you stick around, I'll show you in depth the steps that I take to make this beautiful pastrama. Okay, so now basically it doesn't matter about all this dried stuff. The salt cure will sort that out, but now I just basically remove it from its muscle groups. I'll just cut it through there. Again, remove anything excess. Dog likes that. Hey Toby, he helped me get it, so he gets to get the spoils as well. I'll just remove this sinew here. So that's a good example of the size that I like to make my pastrama out of. Once that's dried, it'll shrivel up a little bit more, but it's thick enough that you'll get a nice texture in the middle rather than it just being dry like beef jerky. Right, so there's all my meat ready to be salt cured. So yeah, our salt, and yep, it's just ordinary pool salt. I know guys are probably going, oh, you need nitrate salt and rah rah rah, but we're not doing this commercially. Salt is salt, and I've been using this for many years, and yeah, it's never been a problem. So anyway, that disclaimer out the way. So I just pour a layer on the bottom of my tray. Lay the meat in there. Doesn't matter how much salt you use, so I don't really have a recipe for how many kilos of salt for kilos of meat, basically because you just want enough that it definitely covers it well.
you must cover it well. Pour some more salt on top, making sure it covers it really well. Just give this a spin a bit, make sure it's really well covered. So it's just nicely covered, plenty of swimming pool salt. Now we put it in the fridge for about 3 days. I should be able to fit it in. This is just a normal fridge, but I've just got it set basically as warm as it will go. So, and it's around the 15 degrees, which is pretty good. And humidity is it should be between 50 and 60%, but this is all good for curing meats. As you can see, I've got my legs of prosciutto. This was put down 4th 22, so that'll be ready April 23. So yeah, we'll start munching that. So you're cool, that's all sorted, so we'll see you in 3 or 4 days. Okay, so the meat's been in here for about 3 days, and we're going to now take it out, rinse off all the salt, but then we need to soak it in fresh water just to flush all the salt out of the meat so it doesn't become just a big lump of salt to eat. So yeah, that's the next step. Now I just fill that up, let that soak. So it's quite important to make sure you rinse that salt out. Now I'll leave that for a couple of hours just to soak like that, and then we'll test it, make sure it's not too salty, and then we can start putting our spices on. Okay, so we've tipped off the water. Now we need to dry the meat out a little bit more. I could paste all the spices on now, but what happens is as that meat shrinks, the paste ends up just cracking off. So we just try and dry it out a little bit, and then the paste that we put on will stick a lot better and stay on the meat. So what I've got is these little stainless steel hooks. These are actually out of old window wiper rubbers. There's a little bit of stainless in there, and I've just cut them up and used them, but pretty straightforward. Hook it through a bit of sinew like that, and I'll just make up this tray full of them, and then we'll go and hang it in the fridge again. Sweet, so that's all those done. Now we'll just go and hang it in the fridge. So we just leave those now for about 3 or 4 days, just to just dry and shrink a little bit. And yeah, it's looking really good. It's looking nice and firm and darkening up. So yeah, that is ready to now have the spices plastered all over it, and the last phase of drying. So cool. Okay, so we just got the meat out of the fridge. We've got our 9 spices here. So we're just going to mix that together now with hot water, or if you've got some wine, I like to mix it with a bit of wine if I've got some in the fridge. So we want about a cup of water in here, and we just want to make it into a real sloppy paste, like almost like porridge. So you need quite a lot of water, but you just want to make it into like a porridge. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit thin to start with, because the dried ingredients soon soak up all that water. You end up adding more water anyway. Man, it smells good. It's like you're in an Indian village restaurant. So that's had a bit of time to soak. It's looking like a pretty good consistency. So now the trick is you grab your spoonful of spice, and you paste it on, and then you just, with the back of the spoon, I just spread it around. You want it reasonably thick. Cover all the meat. So there you go. One piece of pastrama ready to hang in the fridge again. So you just carry on and do that to all your pieces. Sweet. So that goes back in the fridge to finish drying until we get just the right texture. and the flavour has sunken right into that meat. So off to the fridge. And they'll be here for about another 2 weeks, I reckon. Some of these smaller pieces might be ready earlier. Okay, so it's been a week now and these are nicely dried off. They feel really firm, but just still a bit, you can feel that it's soft in the middle, but it's still firm. So we're ready to, 1, eat it, and 2, vacuum pack it. Oh, so here we go. I always like to just cut a piece of this open. See where we're at with it. Oh, that is perfect. Look at that. Look at that. That goes so good on crackers, and we'll just eat it like it is. Cut another piece here real thin. Yeah, look at that. That is, oh, smells good, man. Got a good kick to it too, so, oh, that'll go so nice with a beer, a whiskey, on your crackers, what have you, so, oh, that's good. So the next step that I like to do is, I'll put this one aside and we'll have that tonight. Got my brother coming over from Aussie, and so yeah, it'll be nice to sit down with a whiskey and have a bit of this pastrama. Then the rest of it we will vacuum pack, and that'll keep in the fridge for, well, I've had it in there for a year and it's still been good as gold, and it actually matures even more. Oh, that's good. That is so good. Well, thanks again for watching, guys, and if you want to see more content of this, I've got lots of different recipes for doing cured meats. Let me know in the comments below. The recipe will be in the comments below or in the description below. Cheers, guys.